The megapixel war is over, or at least that is what they told us. For the last few years, the entire camera industry seemed to sign a secret treaty, convincing us that we had reached the limit. They told us that 45 megapixels was the sweet spot and that 60 megapixels was the absolute ceiling. They whispered in our ears that anything more was overkill, that our lenses couldn't handle the resolution, and that our computers would melt trying to process the files. It felt like we had reached the end of the road, and the industry settled into a comfortable rhythm of minor updates and safe releases. But they forgot one thing. They forgot about Sony. Sony does not believe in treaties, they do not believe in limits, and they certainly do not believe in good enough. While the rest of the world was patting themselves on the back for their current technology, Sony was quiet, but it was the silence of a predator waiting in the tall grass. Behind the closed doors of Tokyo's most secretive engineering labs, a new beast has been waking up, a camera designed to make medium-format photography look like a child's toy. We're talking about the Sony A7R VI, and if you think this is just a minor update, you need to listen closely because the leaks suggest this is not an evolution, it is a revolution. To understand why this camera matters, you have to understand the era we are living in. We are in a time where being good is the enemy of being great. You have seen the Canon R5 Mark II, and it is a fantastic machine. You have seen the Nikon Z8, and it is a powerhouse. These cameras pushed the boundaries and forced everyone to step up their game. As a Sony shooter or someone looking to switch, you might have felt that itch looking at your current gear and wondering if you were falling behind. But you waited. You held onto your cash because you knew something else was coming. You were waiting for the king, the ruler of resolution, to come back and reclaim the throne. Today, that wait ends because we are diving deep into the leaks, the confirmed sensor architecture, and the AI-driven autofocus that honestly feels like witchcraft. They are. In A7R has always stood for resolution, but with this release, it really stands for reality. The goal of this camera line has always been to capture the world with zero compromises, and the A7R VI is poised to shatter the glass ceiling that the A7R IV and V built. Let's talk about the heart of this beast, the sensor, because the rumors are loud and the internal data is leaking out. Everything points to one number that should scare the competition: 80.1 megapixels. Take a moment to let that number sink in. 80.1 megapixels on a full-frame sensor is not just a number on a spec sheet. It is a lifestyle change and a fundamental shift in how we capture the world. To explain what 80 megapixels actually means for you, imagine you are standing on a cliff edge looking out at a massive landscape, perhaps the Grand Canyon or sprawling cityscape in Tokyo. You take the shot with a standard 24 megapixel camera, and it looks great. You zoom in, and you see the buildings and the trees. Now, imagine taking that same shot with the A7R VI. You take the photo, go home, and open the file. You zoom in to see the buildings. You zoom in more to see the windows on the buildings. You zoom in again, and you can see the people inside the windows. You zoom in one last time, and you can see the color of the tie the person is wearing. That is the power of 80 megapixels. It allows you to photograph a bird on a wire from 100 yards away and realize later that you didn't have a long enough lens, but it doesn't matter. You can crop in 400%, cut away 3/4 of the image, and still be left with a photo that has more resolution than most standard cameras on the market today. I call this sensor a time machine because it captures data you don't even know is there. When you're on location, you're focused on the composition and the light, and you cannot see everything with your naked eye. But the A7R VI sees everything. It freezes details that are invisible to you in the moment. You get back to the studio and discover things in your own photos, finding textures you missed and elements in the background that tell a deeper story. It gives you the power to rediscover your own work long after the shutter has clicked. People will ask who needs 80 megapixels, but that is the wrong question. The question is, what can you do with 0 megapixels? It is for the landscape photographer in Utah who wants to capture every single grain of red sand in Arches National Park so the viewer can feel the texture of the rock just by looking at the print. It is for the fashion photographer in New York shooting high-end editorials who needs to show the microscopic texture of the fabric and the weave of the thread. It is for the wildlife photographer who cannot always get close because getting closer scares the animal. With this camera, you don't have to get close. You can shoot wide, capture the animal in its environment, and then in post-production, crop and tight for that portrait shot, essentially getting 2 photos for the price of 1. However, we have to get technical because resolution is usually the enemy of speed. In the past, you had a hard choice. You could have high resolution or you could have high speed, but you could not have both. High-resolution sensors traditionally take a long time to read the data, which causes rolling shutter. If you move the camera too fast, straight lines would look bent, and if you try to shoot video, the image would wobble like jello. If you try to shoot sports, you would miss the moment because the camera was too busy processing all those pixels. Sony knows this, and they knew that if they just gave us 80 megapixels with the old technology, we would hate it because it would be too slow. So they did something revolutionary. The A7R VI is rumored to use a partially stacked sensor. This is a crucial term you need to understand. A fully stacked sensor is what you find in the flagship Sony A1 or the Nikon Z9, where the memory is built right into the sensor chip, allowing it to read data instantly. But it is incredibly expensive to make. A standard sensor is cheap, but slow. The A7R VI is using a partially stacked design, which is the brilliance of Sony engineering finding the middle ground. They placed high-speed memory circuits around the crucial parts of the sensor, but not everywhere. What this partially stacked architecture means for you is that the readout speed is drastically faster than the previous generation. It means rolling shutter is virtually gone, and you can finally use a high-resolution camera for action. It means the burst rate, the number of photos you can take in a second, is going to be shocking. Usually, a camera with 80 megapixels would shoot maybe 3 or 4 frames per second, making it sluggish and frustrating for anything moving. But with this new architecture, we could be looking at 10, maybe even 12 frames per second at 80 megapixels. That is an insane amount of data, hundreds of megabytes being written to your card every single second. It turns this camera from a slow studio tool into a hybrid monster. You can take it to the studio, yes, but you can also take it to the racetrack or a football game. Of course, there's a cost to this power, and I don't just mean money. We have to be realistic about the demands of this camera. If you buy the A7R VI, you're making a commitment to a new workflow. Your old SD cards might not cut it anymore. You're going to need the fastest CF Express Type A cards on the market to handle the buffer. You're going to need huge capacity because a single RAW file from this camera could be 100 megabytes or more. Your hard drives will fill up fast, so you better have a RAID system ready. And if you're editing on an old laptop, forget about it. You need significant processing power to handle these files without lag. But for the professional, this is not a problem. It is just the cost of doing business and the price of being at the top of the food chain. There is another whisper in the industry that we need to address. People say lenses cannot resolve 80 megapixels. They say that the glass is the limit and that even if the sensor captures that much detail, the lens will result in a soft image. This was true 10 years ago, but it is not true today. Sony has been preparing for this moment for a long time. Look at their lens releases over the last few years, specifically the G Master series. Why do you think they refreshed the 24 to 70 millimeters GM2? Why did they release the 70 to 200 millimeters GM2? Why are the prime lenses so sharp? They were building the glass for this specific camera. They knew the A7R VI was coming, and they knew they needed lenses that could resolve extreme detail. If you put a cheap vintage lens on the A7R VI, yes, you will see the flaws, and you will see airy imperfection in the glass. But if you put a G Master lens on this sensor, you will see clarity that looks impossible. The combination of Sony glass and this new sensor is going to set a benchmark that Canon and Nikon will struggle to match for years. Beyond the resolution, a camera is nothing without focus. You can have a billion pixels, but if the shot is blurry, it is garbage. This is where Sony is pulling ahead of the entire world. We remember the A7R VI, which introduced the specialized AI processing unit, a dedicated chip just for autofocus. It was amazing and could track eyes, faces, birds, insects, cars, and trains. But the A7R VI is introducing the second generation of that intelligence. We are moving past simple recognition. The A7R VI features something called predictive skeletal tracking. This sounds like science fiction, but it is real. The camera does not just look for an eye or a face. It understands the human structure, how joints move, and the geometry of the skeleton. Why does this matter? Imagine you are photographing a dancer who spins around. Their back is to you, so the face is gone and the eye is gone. On an old camera, the focus would get confused and might jump to the background. But the A7R VI knows where the head is because it knows where the head should be based on the position of the shoulders and the hips. It keeps the focus locked on the back of the head. Imagine a soccer player running behind another player, blocked for a split second. The camera doesn't panic. It predicts the movement, knows the subject is still there, and keeps the focus locked so that the moment they reappear, they are sharp. It works if they're wearing a mask, sunglasses, or standing in heavy shadow because the AI has been trained on millions of images and has learned every possible pose. It is like the camera is reading your mind, knowing what you want to be in focus before you even press the button. For the wildlife shooters, this is even more critical because animals are unpredictable. A bird in flight changes direction in a millisecond, and a cheetah running through grass is hard to track. The new AI model is vastly improved for animals. It doesn't just recognize a bird. It recognizes specific types of birds and understands the body language of animals. If a bird dives, the camera anticipates the speed. If an animal is hiding in the brush, the camera can distinguish between the fur of the animal and the dry grass. It locks on with a stickiness that feels illegal, allowing you to stop fighting the camera and stop worrying about moving the focus point. You can just compose the image and focus on the art while the camera handles the technicalities. So, we have a sensor that sees more than the human eye, an architecture that solves the speed problem, and an artificial intelligence that understands human and animal anatomy. This is the foundation of the A7R VI, shaping it up to be the ultimate still photography machine. But a modern camera cannot just be for photos. We live in a hybrid world where content is video and stories are moving images. For a long time, the R series was a photo-first, video-second camera. The video features were good, but they were not top tier. They were often an afterthought. That changes now. The resolution monster is transforming into a cinema camera. We have to talk about 8K video. With an 80 megapixel sensor, the A7R VI has more than enough resolution to capture native 8K video without breaking a sweat. In the past, 8K on mirrorless cameras was a gimmick. It would overheat, the battery would die, or the rolling shutter would make it unusable. But thanks to that partially stacked sensor we talked about, the readout speeds are fast enough to make 8K viable. This isn't just about shooting in 8K for the sake of 8K. It's about the flexibility it gives you in post-production. You can crop, stabilize, and reframe without losing quality for 4K delivery. And speaking of 4K, the oversampled 4K footage coming out of this sensor is going to be breathtaking. When you take 8K worth of data and compress it down to 4K, you get a level of sharpness and color fidelity that standard 4K cameras simply cannot produce. The noise levels drop, the details pop, and the image looks cinematic right out of the camera. For videographers who have been hesitant to use the R series because of its video limitations, this is the wake-up call. You get the best autofocus in the game, combined with resolution that rivals dedicated cinema cameras. Now, let's be honest about the market. Sony is not releasing this camera in a vacuum. They're looking at the landscape, and they see the competition closing in. Canon is rumored to be working on high-resolution bodies, and Nikon is constantly improving the Z series. But Sony has a specific advantage, the E-mount ecosystem. It is the most robust, open, and diverse lens ecosystem on the planet. When you buy the A7R VI, you aren't just buying a box with a sensor. You are buying into a legacy of glass that has been optimized for this exact moment. The integration between the new AI autofocus and the motors in the G master lenses is seamless. It's a synergy that third-party manufacturers struggle to replicate. This camera is the final piece of the puzzle that Sony has been building for a decade. It is the statement piece that says, we are not just participating in the market, we are driving it. So what is the verdict? Is this camera for everyone? Absolutely not. If you're a casual shooter, this is overkill. If you're just posting to Instagram, you do not need 80 megapixels. But if you're a professional, a pixel peeper, a large format printer, or someone who simply demands the absolute best image quality that physics allows, this is the camera you have been waiting for. It is a camera that respects your need for detail and understands your need for speed. It removes the technical barriers between your vision and the final image. The A7R VI is not just an update. It is a predator designed to hunt down every single detail that the human eye cannot even see. It is the ultimate resolution monster, and it is coming to eat the competition alive. In my opinion, this product represents the pinnacle of current imaging technology. While the file sizes will be a headache for storage, the trade-off for that level of cropping ability and detail retrieval is worth it for professionals. The partially stacked sensor is the smartest move Sony could have made, keeping the price from hitting the $6,000 range of the A1 while delivering the speed we actually need. It strikes the perfect balance for the high-end enthusiast and the working pro. If you are excited about the future of photography and want to stay ahead of the curve, make sure you are part of this community. We track the leaks, we test the gear, and we tell you the truth that the manufacturers won't. If you like this video, please subscribe to the channel, share this video with your photographer friends who are thinking about switching, and hit that bell icon so you never miss an update on the latest camera tech. The revolution is here, and you don't want to miss it. Thanks for watching.